Have no fear, Hippie Heroes here. Today we will be responding to a video by Scott John, just talking about all the bugs in Dead by Daylight right now. He took a break away from DBD for a while, play Elden Ring. So we're just gonna talk about all the various bugs, because with this latest patch, there's a lot of them in the Lara Croft chapter. So let's get started.
Hey guys, Scott here. As many of you know, I took a month off of DBD because I needed a vacation, plus Elden Ring DLC came out, which I was super obsessed with, but after having played that for about 9 hours a day for 30 days straight, I am finally a bit burnt down on it, which is funny because I made a video a month ago saying I was going to take a month off, and it's been exactly 1 month, so I don't know how the hell I gauged my exact level of interest declining at the exact right time, but that was kind of crazy. But I've returned to DBD, and this is sort of what the reaction was. Yeah, it turns out a lot of shit is broken in this patch. This is a new patch that features Lara Croft. That was the main content drop of the patch. There were also huge changes to Singularity and the Night. I played the Singularity, and I gotta say, just as a quick aside, Singularity felt amazing to play. Almost like too strong. I don't know. Like, I always thought Singularity was a very good killer, but was probably very underplayed due to the fact that he was pretty hard to play. There's definitely a lot going on, especially if you're on console. Aiming with the sticks and stuff can be even harder. He's not an easy killer to play, and I'm assuming because of that, we had very low pick rates for the killer, and that's why they gave him seemingly every buff you could possibly give him.
I have
So
not
he
played
felt
as
really,
Singularity
really smooth to
yet.
play now. And it's not like there's any like huge difference in gameplay or changes. It's just everything you do with Singularity is now better. Everything is slightly faster. The auto aim is the only thing I'm not a huge fan of. Basically, if you're trying to hit a survivor directly with your reticle, you'll kind of follow them a little bit, and I don't really
Did
like
they
that
keep
much.
that or
There's also
revert
going to
it?
be a new auto aim type thing. I believe it's not implemented yet, where you can have the cameras auto aim to a survivor a little bit. Not like it's not going to snap on them or anything, but it's going to help people on console, I think, a bit, which is good. But other than that, I always thought Singularity is a pretty good killer. He basically has Soma Family Photo, which is like a required add-on base kit now. The add-on now hinders for 3%. It used to be a 5% haste, but now it's 3% haste base and 3% hindered with the add-on. So now we're at a 6% differential instead of 5%. So it's technically sort of a buff if you want to look at it that way. Other than that, yeah, everything is
Yeah,
just quality of
dang.
life. You switch to cameras faster, no more insanely long delay when you are near a hook and you're trying to teleport away because the game thinks you're camping even though you're trying to get away from the hook. Basically, everything about him just feels better. Now, was this a change that he needed? I don't personally think so, but I also am totally fine with it. I do understand he was very underplayed because he was, again, very difficult to play. And so if they want to make the killer more accessible with all these quality of life changes, I'm all for that. I don't know if he needed these straight buffs to like actual just recovery time, switching between biopods and cameras and
Yeah, I'm
stuff
not
like that.
sure how I feel about
So
that.
I'm not going to complain because I love Singularity. In fact, the only reason I stopped playing him, I stopped prestiging him at like level 60, is because I actually had to pay attention a lot and I was looking at chat a lot less. And I like talking to
He's a
chat when I'm
very
playing stuff. That's
attention
why I play
demanding
much
killer.
easier to play killers like Wraith and stuff like that. Even Billy nowadays is much easier. So that's why I stopped playing him. But with all the quality of life now, I feel like he's so good to the point where I can just probably play him and still talk to chat and have a good time. So yeah, he seems very strong right now. And overall, great change. Now, the Knight is a little bit of a mixed bag. On the one hand, I think going against the Knight feels a lot better now. Because the most annoying thing a Knight can do is just shit out a guard right next to you, pincer attack you, you get hit. Woo, excellent counterplay there. Awesome. Um,
I will say I did enjoy how the knight could just pop down a guard immediately at a loop, and it gave the survivors a pretty good chance to immediately start running or stay in the loop and get punished for it, much like Skull Merchant and Artis. I like the counterplay of just a good old-fashioned W key killer.
Now that doesn't really work anymore
Kind of
because you
like
can't
Dredge
spawn a
too.
guard right next to you, and also the distance that you actually use your power is now relative to the amount of time that the guard will chase somebody. So it's more of like a distant game delay tool now, which I think was the original intention of the killer. But it does come with the downsides of undoubtedly making the knight weaker. So now instead of doing a pincer attack right at the loop, you can do a really long path so the
Yeah,
guard will chase for
significantly
30
weaker.
seconds or something. So you get to a different corner of the map and then pincer them, but it takes way longer to do that now. So I will let people that play knight give better judgments than I. Because, like I said, I was not a fan of Knight at all. I don't play Knight very much, so my opinions on Knight
I was
shouldn't
a
really
big
be
fan of
listened
Knight
to at all.
for
I
a
just know
little
as
while.
Survivor it feels better to play against, but I do think he feels weaker now. But I'm not knowledgeable enough to comment further on that. I don't like talking about things I don't understand, so I'm just going to let people that play Knight give more of an input on that. Now we come to
I will note or state one thing. I noticed when I did play Knight the other day, it was a lot of the survivors were not interacting with the flag as much as they normally do. Normally, I'll encounter survivors and they'll always start like going for a flag, but I think they changed the flag time, so all the survivors were taking a lot extra time just to get to the flag.
the bugs themselves. We do have Lara Croft too, and she's got some cool perks. I like Finesse. That's the 20% faster vault perk. It's the only one I've really made good use of so far, but I like it. People have already made videos about her from the PTB, so I don't want to go over
Very
that
good
stuff. I'm
perk,
sure you've already
very
got
healthy.
all your opinions from YouTubers that you could ever want. But the bugs of this patch are numerous in quantity. So just off the top of my head, in one stream, things that I noticed. Oppression just doesn't work sometimes.
I found you!
Yeah, that's one of the things about this series is I can have to skip manually commercials. Sorry.
Wait. There was an oppression, but there was no skill check. If you have Dead Hard equipped, you don't get endurance after being unhooked, even with separate perks like off the record. There's just no endurance whatsoever. For like 9 seconds. Oh, right.
I heard a lot of survivors say
Wesker
about
animation
that one.
bugs are back. Unlucky. Oh.
I find those funny. They're dumb but funny.
Yeah, DVD, let's go. Dead people make sounds on hook. Wait.
I feel like that's been a thing for months though. I feel like dead people have been
Oh, no,
making
it's just a glitch
sounds
survivor
for
making
like the
sounds
past 7
Post-mortem.
months.
Okay, never mind. I have no idea who she is. Sometimes doing one generator completes multiple generators. Hey, it's the
Apparently, that bug activates when there's somebody who's already died, and then they leave the lobby, so they're not spectating the lobby. That's when you get an extra buff to generators. It looks like. Which the Coconut RTS, he made a video, and he came up with a theory. It may have been to prevent anti-tunneling, which I don't think it was, but I can see where behavior would just mess up the code so badly and implement it as a bug, and then possibly implement it later down the line as an actual feature, or what they would call it.
bug. You're right. You can repair generators after the gates are powered.
So sad. Wait, what? Actually?
Wait, why?
Haven't seen that bug yet.
Sometimes there's just no animation for opening gates. Actually, pretty balanced right now.
I have seen that
Anti-tunnel
one.
Perks don't work. I don't animate anymore. I just open the gates with my mind. Bardic Inspiration apparently just doesn't do anything anymore. Borgo's Realm has a giant chunk of map missing.
Hadn't seen the Bar Inspiration one.
What the fuck is going on here?
I feel like I've seen
There's just
something
random key
similar.
posing now. Flashlights apparently break after using a flashbang. Styptic agents no longer work. The new UI is so bad it might as well be a bug. So
Amen.
there are a ton of issues, some very minor, who cares, and some utterly game-breaking in the sense that you finish 3 generators at once sometimes. So there are some very nasty bugs right now that need to be addressed very quickly, because these are not simple things like, oh, hey, this killer's bug, let's kill switch him. It's, oh, the game is fundamentally broken at the moment. So these need to be fixed very, very quickly. It's kind of funny that this is what I came back to, but you know, as long as you don't take the game too seriously, it's whatever, and that's always been my philosophy, so not a huge deal. But yeah, there's definitely a lot wrong with the game right now, and they need to be very, very quick with fixing this stuff, because yeah, like I said, this is fundamental issues, not just a killer or perk or item or add-on or whatever broken. The entire game is broken, so hopefully
Yeah.
we get that fixed up pretty quickly. I'm extremely looking forward to, that's not a proper sentence, I'm very excited about the 2v8 mode coming out. A little bit less so that I've seen some of the individual changes they're doing, like Hillbilly not being able to one-shot and things like that. That's sort of weird. I'm just going to take it as it comes. I'm sure it's going to be a train wreck in terms
Yeah,
of balance. I don't really care at this.
I'm not looking forward to that part 2 V8 with Hillbilly not being able to one-shot. That's kind of like the whole point of his power. He's one of the few one-shot killers in the game, like Bubba, Ghostface, and Myers. I guess there's more than just a few.
This point, it's the first attempt at doing it. I just want to do it. I just want to play killer with my friends. That just sounds awesome. I don't care how broken it is. I just want to do it. So I'm going to take
Same.
this very, very generously and just give them a whole bunch of wiggle room to fuck things up and to be unbalanced and to be a horrible mess. I just don't really care. It seems like a new fun thing to try, and that's all I care about. So that is it. I am definitely back to DBD. And in terms of Elden Ring, it's the sort of the same thing that happened with me stopping playing Elden Ring in general. I used every new item. I used every new spell, unless there's like a new patch or something where they actually make a lot of the things that were pretty bad actually usable. I don't have too much of an incentive to come back. I just sat down to start streaming it yesterday, and I was sitting there on my mage, and I was like, I actually don't want to play anymore. So I got to that point where I'm a little bored of it, and I'm sort of waiting for a patch for something new there. So that's what's going on with me. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.
Okay, make sure you give him a like and follow. That's all this, the tabs. But yeah, give Scott a like and follow. He does great content. I really love all the videos he puts out. And I will see you all around. Have a great day. I'll start this. There we go.